Skrz ten plot vypsanej! Vidím ho.
This is David Kozák, who is currently standing on top of the building of Charles University in the heart of Prague, Czech Republic, with a semi-automatic rifle in his hand. He is determined to take the life of anyone who crosses his path, regardless of who they are. David Kozák, a 24-year-old student from the Faculty of Arts at Charles University, came from the small village of Hostoň, about half an hour from the center of Prague. According to acquaintances, he was very intelligent but introverted and reclusive, hesitating to form social relationships. His classmates knew him as a smart but lonely student. At the faculty, he studied history with a focus on Polish history, and in April 2023 he even received the Marian Šíkovský Award from the Polish Institute in Prague in the category of Best Bachelor's Thesis. According to psychologists who analyzed his behavior, he suffered from long-term issues with self-confidence and felt excluded from the group. Kozák's family situation was also quite complicated. He lived in a house with his parents, with whom he had a cold relationship. Investigators found that Kozák spent hours on online forums and social media, seeking recognition and venting his frustration. He was on the brink of collapse when, suddenly, on December 7th, 2023, everything changed. In the Russian city of Bryansk, 14-year-old Alina Afaniskina enters her high school building just after 9 a.m. and begins shooting. She kills one girl and injures 5 other students and then takes her own life. Like David, Alina had been pushed to the edge of society, and this act was the final straw that David needed. He was deeply inspired by the shooting, and just 2 days later, on December 9th, he created a private Telegram channel. There he writes, "This will be my diary as I move towards a school shooting. I was very inspired by Alina, very much. Damn, it's fucked up, she certainly didn't enough. I'll try to fix it. Let me introduce myself. My name is David. I want to do a school shooting and possibly a suicide. Alina Afaniskina helped me very much. I always wanted to kill. I thought I would become a maniac in the future. Then, when Ilnaz did the shooting, I realized that it was much more profitable to do mass murders rather than serial ones. I sat, waited, dreamed, wanted, but Alina became the last point. It was as if she had come to my aid from heaven just in time. This channel will be closed for a long time. I wanted to make it open initially, but then I read some instructions that it would be better to open the channel a few hours before the shooting. I'll probably do that. This channel is a diary where I will talk about my life before the shooting. Everyone just hated me, hates me, and will continue to hate me. I don't give a fuck because it's mutual. I will delete some messages from the diary because sometimes in the state of passion I write such cringe, or something personal. I'm forgetting that they will read it in the future. It's a crap day, it's a crap life. I'm drinking tea and want to shit myself. I hate the world and want to leave as much pain as possible. Fucking creatures. I hear ringing in my ears, like some kind of fucking fireflies. I want to rip my ears out. Although information about the shooting appeared on the internet 12 days before the attack, no one was able to prevent it. Shortly after noon, David's friend receives a message in which he expresses suicidal thoughts. The friend immediately calls the emergency hotline, which passed this notification to the Czech police at 12:19. The police tracked down David's phone location and immediately headed to his house in Hostoň. However, instead of David, they found his father, lying dead in his bedroom. The police also discovered explosives at the scene, which were meant to activate upon entering the building. Fortunately, this did not happen, and the police safely removed the explosives. At 13:15, an arrest order was issued for David under suspicion of murder. At that moment, David was traveling by public transport to downtown Prague, and just a few minutes later, he entered the building of the Faculty of Arts at Charles University on Jan Palach Square with a large suitcase. The police arrived only 1 minute later and began searching the building. David immediately headed to the toilets on the 4th floor, where he began preparing for the attack, unaware that the police were right behind him. With every passing second, it seemed like the police would soon find David. But then, something happened. After an hour of searching, the police received information that, according to his schedule, he should be attending a lecture in another building of the Faculty of Arts on Celetná Street, about 700 meters away. All patrols were called away from the building at Jan Palach Square, and all attention shifted to the building on Celetná. An hour and a half after David arrived at the school, at 14:55, gunshots rang out through the building. David carefully planned the attack. Just a few days before the attack, he browsed class schedules on the internet to find out which classes were taking place on the 4th floor of the building that day. He wanted to locate a room with the highest number of people. He first headed to the classroom number 423, where 20 students and a teacher were present. There he fatally shot 9 people and caused severe injury to the remaining 12. A few minutes later, he tried to break into the barricaded classroom number 417. At this point, police officers were entering the building, but they were facing a major problem. The shooter is currently on the 4th floor of the building, but the police are unfamiliar with the building's layout and don't know how to get to him.
Ve 4. patře, zatím negativní, provádíme prohlídku. Hele, drž chodbu tady, jo?
Before they can solve this problem, however, a second problem arises.
Informace, že je na střeše! Kluci, informace, že je na střeše! Je na střeše.
Máš ho? Nemám.
2 schody o 2 stupně do 4. patra plus 2 výtahy na hlavní chodbě.
David climbs onto the roof of the Faculty of Arts and begins shooting at people in the surrounding streets. Including the students, the police started escorting out of the building.
Má dlouhou a balistiku. Na střeše, levo, Filozofická fakulta.
Filozofická fakulta, nahoře, na ochozu, černé oblečení, balistika a stojí nahoře.
Nevadí, nalevo někdo leží? Tak běž. Hele, jestli tam někdo leží, tak zatím kluci to tady zvládnou. Jo?
Bacha, jde nahoru. Má dlouhou.
Přichází pod ukrajinskou vlajku, opakuju.
Tě volá, abych ho smáhnul odsud. Je tam, bacha, bude střílet.
Jdeme nahoru, jo? Pojď. Potřebujeme na střechu. Odsuň to.
To okno jde otevřít? To nepůjde.
Bacha. Mám ho.
Máš ho?
Vzdává se.
Máš pozitivní nástřelce?
Hazel z okna.
Zvednu ruce nebo ne?
Jo.
Potvrdíš mi to?
Dlouhou zbraň odhodila s optikou.
Určitě?
Jo. Zabil se.
Co?
Zabil se. Pro si hlavu.
Jo.
Teď.
David stays there for a long 8 minutes, and just before the police arrive, he takes his own life.
Jo, je tam rozumím.
Neotáčí to, může tam být pyro, zajistíme to. Policie!
Policie! Střela do hlavy!
Okay, we will cover, you will go like this, through the wall, turn left down, okay? Move. Behind, fast, 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 go. Go on the stairs, on the stairs.
The number of victims climbed to 14 people, with an additional 25 injured. This is the largest mass shooting in the history of the Czech Republic and one of the most tragic in all of Europe. Several victims were posthumously honored for their bravery during the attack. These included a student who tried to protect others and a professor who attempted to calm the attacker. Immediately after the event, the government declared a national day of mourning, and the President of the Republic delivered speeches expressing solidarity with the victims' families. The Faculty of Arts closed its campus and cancelled classes for the remainder of the semester. Students and citizens of Prague lit thousands of candles at a memorial site in front of the faculty building. Calls to restrict gun ownership and increase mental health support in schools began to spread on social media. This brings up one important question. Could this tragedy have been prevented? To answer this question, we have to go back to March 2023. At that time, David visited his general practitioner and requested a medical certificate to obtain a firearm license. Since David had previously seen a psychiatrist due to his suicidal thoughts and had told the doctor about his murderous tendencies and fascination with firearms, he was clearly not fit to legally possess a weapon. Nevertheless, the doctor issued the certificate without hesitation, as he himself was unaware of David's obsession with violence. David passed the test just a few weeks later and shortly thereafter purchased 8 firearms. In his manifesto, David later admitted that he bought the weapon specifically to kill people, and also mentioned that passing the gun license test was very easy. This was the first opportunity to stop the tragedy before it even began. However, it was certainly not the only one. On December 15, 2023, shortly after 3 p.m., a terrified woman led the police to the bodies of a man and his 2-month-old daughter who had been shot just minutes earlier. The police immediately began searching the area and even deployed a helicopter with thermal imaging, but there was no trace of the perpetrator. A few days later, the police compiled a list of several dozen possible suspects, including David Kozák, a man who actually committed the murders. Before they could investigate all of these suspects, however, December 21st arrived. The head of the Prague Police Murder Department, Aleš Strach, stated that it was only a matter of a few days before the next tragedy could have been prevented. But even this was not the last point at which the tragedy could have been stopped. If we return to the day of the shooting itself, December 21st, 2023, at 1:24 p.m., the police arrive at the building of the Faculty of Arts at Charles University on Jan Palach Square and enter. Not even a minute after David entered through the same door. The police begin searching the building with a faculty staff member, but even after an hour, they do not find David in the toilets on the 4th floor. They had only searched the ground floor and the 1st floor. Afterward, they were called out of the building. Had the police arrived just 1 minute earlier, the entire tragedy might have been prevented. Shortly after the incident, however, another controversy arose, casting a completely different light on the situation. Throughout the building of the Faculty of Arts, there are security cameras that captured almost every step David took, both when entering the building and while moving inside. So, why didn't the police present request footage from these cameras to more easily locate the perpetrator? According to the regional police chief, Petr Matějček, the university's camera system is outdated and thus does not allow for immediate playback of the footage. However, Dean Eva Lehečková claims that the footage could have been viewed immediately upon request, and the police simply did not ask anyone for the camera footage. Which of these two statements is true remains unknown to this day, but this is not the only dispute regarding the police's action. The moment when the attacker walked around on the roof of the building and shot at people on the street for several minutes also received criticism, as he was often exposed and many believed that the police could have neutralized him much earlier.
Tady jsem! Tady jsem! Hej, tady! Tady! No, baka, žije jsem!
Aby nestřílel po těch lidech, kurva, to asi dělám! To asi dělám, ty vole, tam jsou lidi!
However, in a video taken by one of the journalists present, it can be heard that no one at the scene had the appropriate weapons to take out David.
Ty vole, abych ho smáhnul odsud. Ty vole, to chce odstřelovat, že tady od toho sundá, ty vole. Já mám u sebe akorát 19 Glocka.
Whether or not the police made mistakes in their actions is something I will leave up to you, but most experts agree that during the actual operation in the building, the police did not make any errors. Although the tragedy could have been prevented several times, time cannot be turned back and we can only learn valuable lessons that may prevent another tragedy from happening in the future. Thank you so much for watching till the end. I spent a lot of time making this video, so please, if you liked it, then consider subscribing for more videos like this. Thank you, and I'll see you in the next one.